Hello friends, and welcome back to Sincerely Kaylani. My name's Kaylani and I make videos about my chaotic sewing journey and some things about my lifestyle. Today we are going to definitely be a little chaotic. I just spent about the past 2 hours taking tags off of fabric samples I was gifted for my birthday. Why would I be doing that? Well, it's because I love my brother oh so dear much that he was looking for a floor pillow to put in his room because he's redecorating. And I thought, well, you know what? I have a ginormous, I'm realizing now, a ginormous pillowcase full of fabric scraps, and I just got gifted all of these beautiful furniture samples, like furniture textile samples. Why don't I just make you one? And he said yes, of course, because he doesn't have to pay $100 to get a floor pillow, but get it free from his sister, who wouldn't say no. So inside this pillowcase is about 5 years worth of fabric scraps and ends and little bits in here and there, things that I couldn't put into a bag to then give for textile recycling. So all of that has just been shoved into this pillowcase. I've done a lot of sewing, but it's also, you know, you collect more and you can do something like this. But basically, our journey today, I'm going to sew this closed, then we're gonna look at all of the fabric swatches that I have, and we're gonna piece them together to make a fold over pillowcase. I want to be able for him to be able to take it on and off to clean, because obviously he's gonna be sitting on the floor with it. It's gonna get dirty, so at least being able to throw it in the wash will be a good thing. Most of these fabric samples, they're either polyester, linen, or nylon, or cotton. So there isn't anything that we're worried about shrinking. Any of the wool samples I did put aside for myself just because, again, they might get shrunk if he tries to wash it and dry it, but also just because they're really nice. Like, I think I have a sample that's from that many historical costumers or dress historians here on YouTube, they recommend that brand, and I'm like, oh, I can see why now. Like, it's just beautiful. Anyways, let's get on with this, close this up, and then we'll piece together the pillowcase. Here are all of the samples. You can't see some of them off screen, but basically now what we're going to do is I'm going to piece together a rectangle. We will be able to use most of these pieces. I'm going to use the smaller ones first, and then if I need bigger ones, then I'll replace them, but the bigger ones can be used for other projects. patchwork made. Well, designed, I guess. And I've got my machine set up. So before I get into sewing everything together, I'm just gonna do a little warm up for myself. I've got these jeans that I just gotta put two little darts in for my cousin. So we're gonna do that first. I did already switch my needle to a jean needle because most of these fabrics, because they're upholstery, they are quite thick. So rather than hoping that a regular universal needle will work, I just switched to the jean. It'll be fine for what we're doing today. But yeah, let's do that and then we'll get to sewing all of this together. Okay, so we've got all of our vertical pieces, or I guess horizontal pieces, sewn together, so we've got strips now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them up all vertically, then we're going to check to make sure that it fits around the pillow, and then we can add anything if we need to, because we still got a ton of fabric left over, which I wasn't expecting. For some reason I thought I'd use it all, but I didn't, so I'll have to figure out another project to use some of those other pieces in. But yeah, so let's keep sewing. I've got half an hour. Before I need to start doing some meal prepping for this weekend. So let's keep sewing. here we have it. I've officially made the floor pillow. Honestly, it's quite comfortable. I actually made it pretty thick, but with the way that it's made, you can comfortably sit and have your legs crossed so that when your legs are crossed, like your knees, it's a little bit lower, but like you're sitting higher, so like it's natural. I don't know, it feels really comfortable, so I really hope he likes it. As you can see, let me get off of it. Woo. So as you can see, I did end up adding, oh, it's upside down. Oops. I put it upside down. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, you see I did end up putting the buttonholes because obviously I realized I sewed it incorrectly to do the flap part. And it also is slightly big. I probably could take away one of the panels, but my thought is that as you sit on it, the fabric will start to stretch, like the pillow on the inside will start to stretch slightly, so that, you know, it just gives it a little bit extra room, and I don't know, it's still comfortable. We also could make a bigger pillow in the future, or he could add more filling to it if he would like. Like I think my parents have some cushioning, so we could add a slice of that in there if this ends up being, like, you can end up feeling the bits of fabric, but I don't find that you do. But this turned out so cute. So I'm so excited to give this to him. He'll be getting it at the end of the month, and it'll be right before school starts, so it'll be just perfect. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me and creating this scrappy little floor pillow. And I hope this kind of gave you some ideas on what you can do with those leftover scraps of fabric that you have that maybe you usually would just toss in the garbage. Why not just collect them for a while? Yes, you will have to haul around a bag of fabric scraps wherever you're sewing, but it's worth it because you'll get to make something in the end. So you're helping the environment by, you know, not having to put these fabrics into the garbage, which therefore means they're not going to get recycled properly, but you're going to be giving them a second use where they otherwise would have had their use be finished after being cut off. And honestly, if you also do more traditional pattern making where you're cutting out lots of curves and whatnot, I'm sure you understand when you have fabric that, you know, it seems like it'd be a good piece, but it's really just a couple of curved triangles, which are really hard to piece together. So just, you know, take an old pillowcase, go buy a cheap pillowcase from the thrift store and fill it up and, you know, create your own floor pillow. So it's simple, but it's a way that you can easily help with your impact on the environment when it comes to your sewing practice. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Chaotic Seamstressing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!